From the Middle is a founding member of Odd Pods Media. Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to what is apparently episode 221 of From the Middle. We are three middle-class guys living in the middle of America, in the middle chapters of our lives, with a point of view that's somewhere in the middle. We're a comedy, culture, entertainment, and interview-style podcast, but this week we start out with a very serious discussion about how companies can offer better customer service. And we're smart, so they should listen to us. We also talk a little bit about food apps and could streaming apps make themselves more interesting? In the back half, our M&Ms getting worse. We talk a little bit about pumpkin cold brews somewhere, some of what we're streaming, and Woody Harrelson shows up. Enjoy the episode.
Was that a Jiminy Glick impression in the middle of
that? No.
A little Martin Short coming out of you?
I'm just trying to figure out what's going on.
Oh, for the love. Sorry, just clearing my Mountain Dew hole. I got my phone hole cleaned today.
That's where you keep it?
You're so cerebral and you're so developed and evolved. From the Middle after dark over here.
I have to tell you guys about a positive customer service experience that I had this week. So I love these hats from Branded Bills. We are not endorsed by them. This is just a free story / commercial. You can get hats in a variety of colors and styles with a patch of a logo, custom made, or the ones that they sell retail usually have a patch outline of the state that you're from. So I buy these Ohio hats from Branded Bills. I really like them. I have almost a dozen of them. One of their hats is like their Elite Series. Water is supposed to just bead off of it like a duck's back. You can dip it in the lake and just shake it once and it's perfectly dry. It's got little perforated holes so it doesn't get too sweaty. And if you're on YouTube, if you see, there's this little spot right here where there was supposed to be a little Branded Bills. They've got two B's, a little patch, PVC patch that goes right there. Well, on my work trips, it fell off. So Case started flag football and I'm in my sports chair getting ready for the game to start. And I'm wearing this hat and I think, you know what? I should just DM him. And so I say, hey, love your hats. Could you just send me the little vinyl circle, just the little 3/4 of an inch in diameter circle, and I'll glue another one back on myself. And they said, hey, hit us up at info@brandedbills.com. So I was like, okay, I'll do that when I get home. In the meantime, I also went to their website and they have like an automated tell us your name and if you can remember your order number and what was the issue. So when I got back home, emailed them at info, sent a photo. They're like, hey, we've gone ahead and sent you another hat. It's a $60 hat. Then with that second effort I initiated, I think they're going to resolve it the same way. So I think I inadvertently may have two brand new hats coming, but I was just like, you know what? It gives me hope that there are still companies out there that are doing business in a way that I deem to be going the extra mile, maybe a little over the top, didn't need to go that far. I was willing to just have them mail me $1.30 little vinyl patch. But I was like, you know what? That's pretty cool.
You know, so literally this past week, I've had a pair of Tecovas cowboy boots. And which I love. I like the brand, I like the boots. I've recently also purchased a different style from them as well. But the original pair, the first pair, developed a weird problem in the lining. Like the lining kind of separated a little bit so it was just kind of like really loose there, and they were really hard to pull on because my heel would catch that lining on the way in.
Yes.
And I couldn't slip my heel past this bunched up piece of lining. And so I didn't know if like that could be like cut out and then reshaped, or like did something come unglued or whatever, something that I'm pretty sure like a cobbler, which there's one right around the corner, would be able to fix. But before I took it to them, I just kind of emailed Tecovas real quick and was like, hey, here's the question for you. Here's the problem that's going on. Is this normal? Is this just something that like I shouldn't worry about? Is this something that should go get fixed? Is this something that like you would let me mail to you and have you like do a repair and send them back?
Right.
And like they just said, oh, how about we just send you new boots? And then I'm like, okay, let's do that. And then I'm waiting for the correspondence to be like, like just put the old boots in the box when the new ones show up and then ship them and then we'll kind of whatever. Nope, they don't want the old boots back either. The old boots that I'm pretty sure I can take somewhere and get fixed for under $100.
Heck yeah.
And so good on Tecovas.
That's what I'm talking about. Good on Branded Bills. Good on Tecovas. I'm going to share a photo of the hat as just an extra layer of promotion for Branded Bills. That's all I needed.
Yeah,
that's
just
it.
A little double B right there.
Just that right there.
A little nickel-sized double B.
It makes me it makes me hopeful that these companies just start realizing that what's best for the customer is also just often the easiest for them. I'm not talking about a $10,000 watch that just should be replaced if something but like the amount of time their employees spend having to hassle with customer service issues, trying to get a customer to mail something back, and by the way, is the customer even happy with that solution if they've got to try to figure out how to mail it back and where to do that? And then once they get the old product back, they have to put it somewhere and then figure out what to do with it and how to dispose of it, and have people dealing with all these returns and broken things like it, and the ship, not even factoring in shipping costs. It's just like, far more often than not, it's easier to just say, we'd love to just send you another one with an apology. Sorry you had an issue. Here's another one. Enjoy. And again, I'm not talking about a $1,500 computer or a $10,000 watch, or that everyone should just replace everything. But far more often than not, they can just say, hey, sorry that happened. You can take that broken electronic to an e-cycling center and we'll just ship you another one. Enjoy. Sorry for any hassle. Yeah. Conversely, just ordered some khaki shorts, 2 sets of khaki shorts from a very popular but inexpensive brand. 2 different sizes showed up. I ordered 2 of the same thing. Very clearly 2 different sizes, multiple tags on it, and a bag that all show the wrong size on one. They went back and forth with a bunch of emails and then finally asked for photos, like they couldn't believe that they might have accidentally shipped the wrong size, took photos of all the tags, and then they just ghosted us. And these are inexpensive, like lightweight golf khaki shorts. The amount of time that they wasted, they could have just shipped another $15 pair of shorts and I would have been happy immediately. And now I'll literally never buy anything from them again because they messed up an order and ghosted me.
See, that's just it. And that's why Spectrum tried so hard to keep Sherry last week with that like second tier, try to woo you back into the fold and give you a better monthly deal guy, because they know once you're gone, you're gone. And let me tell you, as a consumer, I know it's just these companies' policies to handle returns however they deem to handle them. Right. But I always take it as a sign of the financial state of that company. Like if you're making me take 7 pictures, remember my order number from 2 years ago, I'm like, you're broke. But if you're just like, here's a $50 hat, here's 2 $50 hats, here's a pair of boots, keep the old pair. Yeah, I'm like, yeah. You're doing just fine.
Yeah. Spectrum's in it, like you kind of pointed out, like Spectrum's in a different boat.
Right, different scenario.
Because like you can't like go back and buy something else from Spectrum.
Right. Contract negotiations, not their fault.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But I do like it. Yeah, I think we've all had that experience of trying to like cancel a subscription and you go to the website and they're like, "Oh, you have to call." You're like, dang it.
Yeah.
Now I've got to be like Ross on Friends trying to quit the gym. Or not Ross. Was it Ross? I forget.
I did that once. And it just so happened right around when I needed to cancel it. My card expired anyways. And so they wouldn't help me cancel. And then all of a sudden they started reaching out a lot to get my updated card information. Funny how that works.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I'm the one not returning calls. Worked out great.
Gotta love that.
Yeah.
Gotta love that.
Yeah, I bought a domain name that I thought I might use to build a website and never did. And GoDaddy every year was just auto charging me. But then as soon as that credit card expired, they were like, hey, man, you remember how you wanted whatever.com? You still want that? And yeah, we'll offer you all kind of deals.
No, and apparently no one else does either. So.
Yeah, exactly. It's been fine. I'll go grab it whenever I need to. It's not been
yeah. You know,
I just learned about an interesting new product. So we have joked on this podcast before about how we don't understand the young generation. We're being playful and tongue in cheek. We're not actually old like kids these days, but it's fun. Gen Z.
I mean, there's a little bit of that.
There's a little bit of that, but Gen Z does legitimately confuse us. Here's what they're doing now. One of the highest or one of the most popular items on Amazon.com are pimple patches that can be or don't have to be medicated in the shapes of like stars and balloons and even poop emojis to put over top of your pimples so that your friends don't have to see your unsightly pimples. Instead, they can look at a poop emoji on your forehead. Thoughts?
You said these are not medicated?
Some are, some aren't.
Okay.
There's different
The
brands.
medicated ones I can understand.
Stickers all over your face. Going to school with stickers all over your face at different colors. You look like a bowl of Lucky Charms walking down the hallway because you're like, I don't want other teenagers knowing I have teenager problems.
Whatever happened to just like squeeze it, pop it, and deal with the scar? Like just move.
I know.
Just move on.
During the recording right now, you guys probably have noticed that my finger has been up in this area. That's because I've been messing with a pimple right here.
Yeah, just
right here, all episode long so far. I've been playing around with it, trying to squeeze some more juice out.
Yeah, we don't need to accessorize. I thought the pimple popper channels were popular. Why aren't the kids just doing that? Is that not a thing they want?
They should be popping each other's pimples at school is what they should be doing.
Dillon, you just sounded like a bop it just now. Pimp it, pop it.
Yeah, no, I can actually appreciate the medicated ones. I get that you had that, you know, it's a method of taking care of a pimple that you know, it might as well look.
No, that's not a real thing. Is it? Is this like when people say like, you know, young people are so desperate they're doing or blowing money on and there's like 4 people on Twitter that do it? Is this like that? Do kids in your kids, other kids in your kids' school actually do this? Like it's a common.
Yeah, I've not seen this yet, but I don't have any kids that age.
The most popular brand seems to be Starface.
No.
And a couple major publications have written about it. I think it's too hip for rural Ohio. This seems to be hot off the presses. And I think if Justin Bieber's doing it, other people are going to want to do it too.
I hate to be the I'll believe it when I see it. This just seems like this Starface company just found a way to get somebody to write an article and they're getting a kickback from the sales from the articles.
That very well could be.
I don't know.
But I will admit that medicated ones I can understand. Instead of getting one that kind of blends in, but like we can all still see it. Like do something fun with it instead, I can get that. I don't understand just covering it to cover it. That does not make sense to me.
I don't understand. Look, I try to understand Gen Z. I ordered a pumpkin cold brew today. Okay.
That person needs about 90 more of them.
Yeah, this is not doing them any favors. If you're not on YouTube, you should be subscribed. This person has far more pimples on their face than stickers would cover.
I need just a few more constellations and they'll be all
which again, we're not judging the pimples, by the way, to be clear.
Yeah.
We don't care that they have pimples on their face.
The one above on the outside of the eyebrow just needs to be repositioned, and they would have a little dipper on their face.
Okay, that's going to be one of our images on the YouTube thumbnail. So anyway, I thought that was crazy. Hey, Middlers, we'd love your thoughts on the Starface pimple patchers. Would you be caught dead wearing those at some point? Just have the pimples.
Just have the pimple. It's fine. That's not a pop it, scar it, move on. That's just that's all you got to do. There's no.
What's going on in you guys' world? How are you?
Seriously, I did try a pumpkin cold brew today from Starbucks. I'm trying to like lean into some of these drinks. I can't believe how like that whole top layer was just like 4 inches of like whipped pumpkin flavor, and then it just pretty much just tastes like coffee below that. I know it's supposed to be the pumpkin spice latte which is not what I ordered. I got a cold brew, but there is a lot of pumpkin-y whip flavor on top of the cold brew. It was surprising.
Pumpkin spice, I believe.
Yeah, mine was not pumpkin.
I feel like this is a common misconception that like it was not pumpkin spice.
No, it was a pumpkin cold brew.
Pumpkin cold brew.
Pumpkin.
So not a pumpkin spice cold brew.
No, I couldn't go full pumpkin spice latte. So I thought I normally order a venti cold brew, light ice was kind of my normal Starbucks order now. So I just thought pumpkin is very close, and I don't mind a little flavor, like a little raspberry or this or that in my drink. So I thought pumpkin would be fine. It was really just pumpkin whipped cream on the top that I think was like floating at the top that made it pumpkin-y.
That sounds true. There's years back, there was somebody who pointed out to me that like that you realize that like all of the pumpkin spice drinks, like it's a common misconception, or you'll hear people talk about how it's like pumpkin flavored and they love pumpkin flavored. Pumpkin spice flavor does not taste like pumpkin. That's not the point. It's the spices that you put into like a pumpkin pie. Just like that bouquet of spices is what pumpkin spice is. It's not actually pumpkin flavor.
Interesting.
There's no and so since then, like it's been one of those things in my brain when I hear people talk about like they love pumpkin flavored things. They're like, I love the pumpkin spice latte. And in my head, I'm like, well, that's not pumpkin flavored at all. That's just like, that's like cinnamon and nutmeg is what you like.
Yeah. What is it if I like the pie filling? That's pumpkin with sugar.
The pie filling is pumpkin with like cinnamon and sugar and nutmeg and like the pumpkin spices.
I don't need all the spice though in it. It could be a kind of a bland pumpkin pie, right?
I don't know anybody who's ever made a pumpkin pie without putting spices in it.
Yeah, the guts of a pumpkin pie have the spices in them.
Still have the spice in it, even if you don't taste much of it. It's not like you're getting hit with a lot of cinnamon and nutmeg.
That's what gives it that texture. When you just look at it visually, all the little specks are the little spices of the cinnamon and the nutmeg and it's not just like orange goop. There's texture of the spice.
There's more to it than that. Yeah. So like a pumpkin spice latte at Starbucks, there's all kinds of, I'm sure there's all kinds of artificial things in it. They're not trying to mimic pumpkin flavor in there at all.
Yeah.
That's not the point.
Okay. Well, I felt a little younger for the 10 minutes I drank that.
Good.
Cold brew. I felt just a little bit younger. I'm connecting.
Did you like it?
There are some things. Yeah. Did you like it?
I did. So I had a little bit. Typically what I'll do is I'll just get a venti cold brew, light ice, because they put way too much ice in it. And I'll drink it on the way home, but then I'll get home and put a little natural sweetener and some creamer in it. So because this already had it, I could get it home and stir the pumpkin foam in really well and like actually mix it pretty good.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I did like it. I think it helped that it wasn't like the spiced up. I understand you're saying it's still in there, but like,
I don't know if it is or not. This could be a
yeah,
completely different drink. Like
because it was like foam on top and then coffee below. It felt like it was mixing in nicer than just being a super sugary like thing. It was good. I think cold brew. I just felt like cold brew finally gave me an easy drink to order. It's easy to understand. I know what I'm getting. I could just say venti cold brew and I feel good about it.
Dude, I don't know what it is, but like I feel like I lived the same week as each of you individually because not Starbucks, but Tim Hortons. I also am one that like never orders the frou-frou coffee drinks. I just get coffee when I order coffee somewhere. And for me, when I go out to get coffee, it's Tim Hortons usually. And I've recently downloaded their app. And so now with their app, like I can play around and I'm just out of curiosity looking at all their different drinks and things. And then now like I can look at calories and I can look at things that I didn't even know that they had. And one of the things that they had was instead of getting the latte or whatever else, like you could get this vanilla cream cold brew, which is just cold brew coffee with like vanilla cream poured on top of it. And I'm like, you know what? That could be like more up my alley because you're not inundating coffee with milk. You're just, it's, you know what I mean? So I got it. I tried it and I liked it. And it made me think. Now I think long term, I'm still going to be typically just a black coffee drinker, but that does give me a little bit of an option there. It makes me feel almost ashamed, but also like, you know what? I could totally come up with a coffee drink. That's the Kendall coffee drink.
Why would it make you feel ashamed? Have it your way.
See, well,
ashamed is a strong word.
I'm trying to avoid the liquefied bowl of cereal as a coffee, like with 87 grams of sugar and 900 calories.
Exactly.
Like not even my breakfast. It's like the coffee after I've had breakfast. So that's why I like the cold brew, because then I feel like if I had a little natural sweetener and even a little creamer at home, no big deal. I'm not getting, a 400 calorie drink. So ashamed wouldn't be a word for me, but like, kind of. That would be close. Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing that I liked about it too, Dillon, was that it was like the coffee flavor was stronger and more present. Still tasted like I was drinking coffee, right? It didn't taste like I was drinking a milkshake.
There you go. I love it.
You guys were talking about the taking advantage of fast food apps, both for the savings and the convenience. And that's one of those things that I'm surprised I haven't taken more advantage of. Twice a month, I go downtown for an appointment, and I pass a Starbucks on the way that's about 10 minutes from my house. I was like, I'm going to try this. Well, my credit card's already in the Starbucks app. So I just get coffee and a breakfast sandwich. I love their sausage, cheddar, and egg breakfast sandwich. And plugged it in, walked in, grabbed it. There was like 12 cars in line, past all those cars left. And I was like, why am I not doing this all the time? And then when you learn, like I get a vanilla latte, they do 4 or 5 pumps of vanilla in a venti vanilla latte, which is always too much vanilla for me. So I was like, I can customize how many pumps. I mean, people have known this for a long time, but if you're doing the app, you can be like venti vanilla latte, half the pumps you normally do, sausage, cheddar, and egg. I'll see you in 10. Pay for it. Done. Run in, grab it. Says Corey, I'm off to my appointment. It's a beautiful time to be alive.
Especially when when an app takes Apple Pay.
Yeah.
And I don't even have to think about credit card billing, same as this thing, and you just do. Now I have to say there's some room for learning because Taco Bell. So I've leaned into the Taco Bell mobile app experience.
Of course you have.
That's going to be a shock to some of the
Does
listeners.
Bucky's
You get
have
a very
mobile app?
pleasant.
Look, we're getting to Bojangles here soon. Maybe I'll have the Bojangles app too, but Taco Bell.
Yeah.
But I found a problem with the Taco Bell app. The good thing is when you put in your order, if you say dine in, or if you say pick up inside, or dine in, pick up inside is the same option. They start making it immediately, and there's the little tracker, the order tracker, like your order's being worked on. So then you can walk right in, tell them, hey, here for whatever. If you say drive through, they don't start making the order till you get to the drive through. But we've talked a little bit about how some of these restaurants are kind of behind. Things have slowed down a lot. So my issue now is, and Taco Bell needs to listen and implement this. My Taco Bell that's close, they're very good, but they're kind of slow. And a lot of times what they'll do is when somebody's done ordering at the drive-thru, they'll let the next car pull up and say, thanks for coming to Taco Bell. Da, 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 da. Go ahead and take a look at the menu. We'll be back to take your order in a minute. And so they can like finish up whatever other order. But now that's a problem because now I'm the mobile order.
It's extra time.
It's extra time. So now they need to say, choosing Taco Bell, if you're here for a mobile order, you can guess your name. Otherwise, take a minute to look at the menu and we'll be right back. Because now if I place a big order, now I've waited for like 2 minutes. Then I say it. Then they're like, oh, crap, go ahead and pull forward. They could have been making my order that whole time.
It's doing them a disservice and you a disservice. So I'm the person in the car. You say, welcome to Taco Bell. We'll be with you in just a moment.
Maybe I need to say, maybe I can come up with the line and say,
okay,
happy here, Melt, we'll try this out. We're gonna experiment. Maybe I can say, happy to take a look at the menu, but I've already placed the mobile order for Dillon, if that helps.
Nice.
Maybe I can say that.
Head them off at the pass.
So that way they can do with that information what they will. They can either ignore it and then come back in 2 minutes. And I've already said if it helps, so I don't feel like I was being a D-bag. And if they do want to go, oh, if you have a more mobile order, go ahead and pull around. So I think I need to say that. I can't expect them to implement that fast. I need to get out ahead of that.
Okay, but now you don't have the option and you've pulled up and I go, thank you for choosing Taco Bell. We'll be with you in just one moment. You didn't say
Was I supposed to say my new thing?
Yeah.
I don't think they were waiting for you.
I'm not even giving you. My little dinger.
Can still hear me. They can still hear me. I know they can.
Okay, fine. But I didn't give you time to even say anything. So I just started. Thank you for choosing Taco Bell. We'll be with you in just one moment. Go ahead and take a look at our menu.
Sounds good. And if it's helpful, I have a mobile order.
Okay, now you do it. You do it.
Okay. Thank you for choosing Taco Bell. Is this like we think the robot can't understand us?
Mobile order. Mobile.
Sorry about your ears, middlers.
Yeah. I could yell. That would be an option. I gotta say though, I am typically not a. We've probably discussed this. My expectations are generally pretty low at most fast food places, right? Yeah. But with the prices they're charging for everything out there now, I don't know if anyone else is like this, but we went through today and I ordered in the app and they handed me the drink and it came in. It was a Mountain Dew and it was like pretty flat. And I was like, I waved the guy back and I'm like, dude,
nope.
This is like a $4 soda now. So like, if you guys are going to make a taco, not a joke in our area, if you're going to make a 3 taco combo, $10 with the drink, this drink's got to be right and the food's got to be good. Like this isn't a $4.99 combo anymore. Like you did that to yourself. You're now charging like sit down taco joint prices for your fast food. So I'm like, hey man, this isn't this isn't good. Normally, I would have just taken it home, like sipped it on the way home and dumped it out and got something else to drink. That ain't happening anymore. It's not. They've all raised the prices too much. They have to expect people to want what they're paying for.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Ugh.
You guys understand like media and apps and advertising at a base level. I have a question for you. I am loving YouTube TV in lieu of cable. Sporting events on YouTube TV are great. I already talked a little bit about it last week. You can watch 4 games. It splits your TV into a 2x2 grid. You hover over the grid you want to listen to. You do one tap on your Apple TV remote to click the game you want to make full screen for a second. When you hit menu, it goes back to the 2x2. When you join a game already in progress, it says, would you like to start over? Would you like to resume watching from just the key plays and get caught up? Or would you like to start where the game currently is? Question for you. Do you think it would be possible, or would the advertisers hate this? Give it 4 hours even. Because I understand why they couldn't do this right away. But if I watch a game 4 hours later, even the next day, it's still going to include the commercial breaks. There's got to be a way with AI and machine learning to splice, just like YouTube does, splice little chapter headings where the commercial breaks are. And once a commercial break starts, I should be able to do the equivalent of skip intro to get me right to the end of the commercials to get right back. I'm not asking you to cut them out. I'm just saying put a little marker there so I can do the next button and just jump right to the end. Or would there be no way that they could do that with their advertising agreements?
My guess is right now they wouldn't be able to do that, but
Yeah.
I would think that would happen that way. This is sort of like the one place where the medium, like YouTube or Spectrum or any place like that, might be able to have a little bit of control here, because they can. Otherwise, they're at the mercy of the networks, right? Like Disney and Spectrum had a problem because Disney was asking a whole bunch more money, and Spectrum was like, I don't think we want to do that. And then Spectrum was forced to, because everybody started leaving, and Disney knew that that's what was going to happen. So, but there is some power that YouTube can have. You see it on their normal videos. Advertisers can pay more to get rid of that skip button.
Sure.
So now that's something that like YouTube can charge extra for, in addition to how long is your ad. Now they can add skippability to something that you can pay to get rid of.
So one thing that, a couple of the podcasts that I regularly listen to or watch, I choose to watch because the hosts are very animated and expressive, and I like watching them. What they do for their ads is put a huge colored banner at the bottom. So if you're just holding the main cursor, you can skip till you don't see that banner anymore and then let go and then resume. So you're still doing it manually. I'm just wondering, would that be possible? If so, YouTube TV is the way.
well, I agree with Kendall, and let me say, cable didn't used to have commercials at all. That's why you paid for cable. And then they decided to, at some point, add commercials to cable, even though you were paying for cable. And so they've put themselves in a position where they've decided to add more and more and more commercials over time because they want that money. So while there's no incentive there for them to add a button to skip commercials, at any point, anybody could buck that by saying, hey, you know what? We feel like if we charge this amount, we could have ads and have a button to skip ads. And if people don't want to watch them, they don't have to watch them because we're charging them enough. They don't have to watch it. We're still going to put it in there. So like that might be eventually a streaming app that's like, we're going to have our cake and eat it too. We're going to put ads in it and we're going to put a button because we're charging enough people don't have to see it.
Yeah, because the opposite is like Hulu that forces you to watch 90 seconds of ads unless you pay for Plus.
And
right.
Hulu is almost to another level where they're like, there's buttons you have to push. It won't bypass them directly. There's like the email me this ad button. Like,
we're giving you the choice. What's your ad preference? Do you want to watch?
Oh my goodness, yeah.
you know when that was helpful? Honestly, there was a day where that was helpful, and they've changed that because when Hulu was free on like, and you were sitting on your computer and watching it before it was on like streaming boxes didn't really exist yet. You were watching on a computer. That was useful when it was free, and you could go there and they would say, do you want to watch 1 2-minute ad now at the beginning of this episode and never again? Or we're going to string 3 to 4 30-second ads throughout a 45-minute TV show. Because then everyone would go 2 minutes, go up, get your snack, go to the bathroom, come back. You've dealt with it. And now you're done for the remainder of the episode. There was a time where that was actually a good feature.
Listen, we can waterboard you for 15 minutes now, or just torture you a little bit on random days throughout the week.
And I hate it.
I'm just saying there should be a time threshold where if I'm watching a game past a certain point, it's already over. Just give me the option. You've already counted me as a viewer because I've DVR'd it, right? I don't know how the numbers work, but like I've already DVR'd it. I've viewed it, right? Now just give me the option to skip right to the end of that thing, get right back to the action. That'd be life-changing. Anyway, we are deep into the episode minute-wise, so we're going to take our break now. Here's some words from some of our friends in Odd Pods Media, and we'll be right back at you.
Hey, I'm Pantsless Aaron.
This is Stevie.
And I'm Augie.
And we are BFYTW, a podcast all about playing games and having fun. Our games are usually based on British panel shows and game shows, but we'll play anything that captures our attention and imagination. Why? It's right there in the title.
You'll never guess what the F stands for.
Kind of ironic for a commercial break there, wasn't it?
Hey, isn't it handy that we put that thumbnail in at the middle again so you can not skip past the wonderful advertisements of our friends in Odd Pods Media?
There's a question for you, though. Is it a commercial if SiriusXM advertises itself on its own platform, or if HBO shows an ad for its own show on its own platform? I still say it's a commercial, but a lot of people insist that it's not.
What
do they say it
Who's
is?
insisting that it's not?
Lots of people over the years. It's like, oh, it's not. If SiriusXM just says you're listening to whatever station radio on SiriusXM, it's like you still stop the music. It's a station identifier, but everyone knows what they turn to. It's a screen you can read. So like, it's still a commercial for itself. If you're like, you're listening on SiriusXM to channel we all know what we turn to the station. We don't need you to identify it back to us. It's not like an old 97.4 dial where I can't see it. Like, we know when it says, whatever, Bob Marley radio or whatever. Who's that? That, we know what we're listening to. Anyways, it's a commercial.
If I'm not watching Kevin Costner, it's not Yellowstone, and anything else is not Yellowstone, which, by the way, they're restarting next week. So I can now add it to my library on YouTube TV, and it'll record every single episode since they're starting it over. And even though I'm not paying for the Paramount Premium Plus thingy or whatever it's on, I can start watching Yellowstone. I'm so excited.
Nice.
That's awesome. Good.
Hey, do you think M&Ms are getting worse?
What? I missed it.
Do you think M&Ms are getting worse?
I don't know.
Can I tell you what I mean?
Yeah, please.
Tell us more.
So we have some movie candy in our basement where the TV and the snack bar and the fridge and stuff is. So we regularly, for movie nights or sporting events, eat the little boxes of like movie theater candy that we get from Target.
Yeah, that's adorable and fun.
And then we replenish them and we eat them and replenish them. So nothing in there is that should ever be bad or stale. I just opened a box of original M&Ms, and Here's what I mean by getting worse. They didn't even taste like chocolate. They just tasted like sugar. They were just little chewy sugar balls with nothing that was reminiscent of chocolate. It's not like Reese's Pieces where you're like, ooh, I'm getting chocolate and peanut butter. Or if you go to an M&M with the peanut in it, where you're like, oh, this is chocolate and peanut. This was just like sugar. And I know there's like a global chocolate shortage and we're going to run out in like 30 years. So is this Hershey's like cutting the corner and saying, we're just going to keep adding sugar till all the chocolate flavor is gone? That's my concern. Have you had M&Ms recently?
Today.
And are they getting worse?
First of all, it isn't Hershey's, sir.
It isn't, no, because I was just about to bring that up.
Oh, I'm sure I'm wrong. Whoever makes M&Ms.
Yeah, no.
I was trying to help you out, Kendall. You can't correct people without sounding like an asshole. So I was.
But you sounded like the asshole.
Yeah, but you didn't have to be the one.
Well, no. But mine was tied. Mine's tied to a point that, like, for a while, like, I like M&Ms. It's on my very short list of candies that I actually enjoy. And however, even though I like M&Ms, I have long had the thought that these would be better if they were made with Hershey's chocolate, because even though I like M&Ms, I don't particularly like the chocolate that they're using. I would not want a bar of that chocolate without the candy coated shell situation. I had some M&Ms today, and I don't remember it being remarkably different, but I also had them as part of like a little trail mix kind of situation that I had.
Yeah, I don't know.
That begs a bigger question. With mass-produced foods that are consistent, how often are you getting a bad batch of something?
Yeah, maybe I did. I'm like, is this shrinkflation? Is this a bad batch? Was I dying of COVID and my taste buds were gone? I didn't know, but everything else tasted fine. But that little box of M&Ms.
Did you test it with others in the room?
No one was around. I was home alone, sick, but not sick to where I couldn't taste food. So
yeah, and I'm going to say that's you, dude.
Okay.
Given the circumstances, it's probably more likely that it was you because you're sick.
Yeah, but I could taste everything else. I don't think that was it. I want to know if anyone else has had candy recently. Who makes M&Ms? If it's not
Mars.
Okay. There's like 4 chocolate companies that own every chocolate in America, so it had to be one of them. I want to know if anyone else has had any.
Yeah, but it wasn't Hershey's, was it?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was
Dude,
Mars.
Kendall, I'm on your like M&Ms made with Hershey chocolate tip. That sounds really good. Because
here's the thing.
I don't
Hershey's
really care.
has made a candy coated thing. I don't know if they still make it or not, but they tried at least. And I tried them, and I'm like, you know what? M&Ms are better, and I cannot explain this. The chocolate that Hershey's is using is better than the chocolate that M&Ms was using. But when Hershey's tried to make their own type of M&M, I didn't like it as much. And it is
okay.
I'm more
likely to chalk it up as maybe it was a bad batch, because nothing else was tasting off to me except the M&Ms. And I want to know if anyone else has had either a bad batch of M&Ms that literally just tasted like chewy sugar, or if they also think that maybe M&Ms are getting worse. I'd like to know.
Fair question.
Inquiring minds want to know. Kendall, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing okay. Nobody is sick yet this week, so
fingers crossed. It's only Monday.
Crossed. I mean, I still had to pick up a kid early from school because of a headache, but he seems to be okay now. But no, things are all right. The twins' birthday is today, the day that we're recording this. So that was fun. We had a big ol' situation for Joel. It's in lieu of birthday gifts. We did a room remodel kind of thing for him.
Saw that.
Which was so much fun to do. and had the desired effect of jaw dropping, oh my gosh, kind of moments all over the place as he would look around and see all the new stuff. It was so fun. We did the same thing for his sister last year, and he thought it was really cool and was kind of jealous of it. So that's what he wanted this year.
Awesome.
And very much enjoyed that.
Do you mind if I share?
Go ahead. Okay. Yeah. So that picture is that if you're looking, he's got like a soccer themed bed sheet kind of thing. But the focal point of this photo is a navy blue wall with a giant Michigan M painted in the middle of it. That was a last minute addition because there was the situation occurring where last year when Amy had done Lydia's room, who wanted like pink and purple and rainbowy and sparkles and unicorns, like it was like Amy got so giddy to do that for her, and it was like just this creative trove of ideas, and found a lot of cool stuff and did a lot of cool things for Lydia's room. And then for Joel's room, who's like, I like soccer, Amy was like really struggling to come up with ideas. And so like I start racking my brain, like I want the jaw drop when he comes in here, like what Lydia had last year. And I'm also kind of afraid that he's going to be disappointed if like all we did was get him some bed sheets and paint his furniture black. And so I was like, what he would love would be the wall was already blue. A giant yellow M right here on this wall would make his day. And so like literally the night before we did that, Amy did that, I just went to Home Depot and bought the paint.
Did she project and trace it? How did she nail the proportions of the block M?
She looked for measurements online and found somebody who like
did the math,
the dimensions on a cookie cutter, and then just blew those dimensions up and taped it out.
Nice. Nicely done.
Yeah.
As always, I picked a perfect GIF response on Facebook to the posts. I'm good with my GIF keyboard. What can I say? But seriously, it does look awesome. I love all the hats on this headboard, on the head, head of the bed, all just lined up there. That's awesome.
Happy birthday, twins.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
Other than that, still figuring out schedules and crazy stuff. And
are you managing? I mean, I loved
really.
I loved and actually stole your analogy of opening a garage door that you're planning to clean out over the weekend and going, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I know I'll figure it out. How are you managing?
Still trying to figure it out, it seems. And I have this feeling that it's going to be that way until soccer's over.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the ball's not really getting dropped on things. It's just literally we can't make it all happen.
Yeah.
We just can't. And so, and karate has kind of been that thing that has kind of fallen by the wayside. However, so we've just kind of had to been opportunistic about that, which we haven't been doing nearly as often as we're supposed to be. Amy and I had to concede that at least for the two of us, that we just have to recognize that we're just going to show up whenever we can and just realize that we're going to be behind on belt testing and stuff. We're just not going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
You got to prioritize. I mean, at the end of the day, something's got to give. You can't do it all.
Exactly. But what we've also had ever since this started has been like one kid who was out for a week with COVID and another kid who was out for a week with strep, which means that like we can't divide and conquer. Someone has to be home.
Right.
So like I had to cancel worship practice last week because Amy had to take kids to like karate or soccer practices and stuff, and like which meant that I couldn't go anywhere because I had to stay home with Joel.
Yeah.
So things like that. So assuming that no one gets sick, that's one giant thing that's going to lift off the schedule. So it might still settle into something. I don't know. But my guess is we're just going to have to wait till soccer is over.
Yeah.
and then try to schedule our schedule.
I'm dealing with a new one this week. So I took Sherry to the airport this morning at 6:30. She is in Denver, out in Estes Park, in the middle of the Rocky Mountains for a global staff retreat. And I am here managing all the things, which she does all the time when I go on work trips. So I fully appreciate that before I get into what I'm about to say. However, the other driver,
He doesn't listen to this podcast anyways.
she's like, yeah, this is what I do every time. However, the thing that makes this unique is the other driver in the house is going to a camp for 3 days. So that takes one kid out of the rotation, but it also takes a driver out of the rotation. And there are at least 2 instances this week where the other 2 that remain have to be in different places at the exact same time. And I'm just going, help. Or like, I mean, I had to tell Chloe today, like, hey, I can't be at your track meet because I have to take your brother to flag football. Are you okay? She's like, it's fine. Single tear rolls down her cheek. No, she didn't. But like, that's what I feel like is good.
I just want you to know that your perceived aptitude at this thing is lower than your siblings. So I'm going to take them to their event and you're going to be late. And you're going to tell the coach, sorry.
Yeah. So, yeah, it is what it is, man. I mean, you do the best you can. You rely on your community where you need help and you freaking figure it out. But it's the joys of, I had a dear friend text me this week and was like, hey man, can we get together? And it's somebody I really want to hang out with. And it's just like, dude, there isn't a day and I was in New York last week. Sherry's in Colorado this week, and I was supposed to go to Florida all of next week. That got canceled, and he was asking to hang out that weekend that I get back. I'm like, you know how that's going to go over after between the 2 of us, the kids have had one parent gone for 3 weeks in a row. And then I'm like, I'm going on a fishing charter. Is not going to go over well.
Well, I think I even mentioned something about getting dinner with you and our dad, and I think even that was met with a little bit of resistance collectively. Like maybe this isn't a good idea.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to be gone for 3 weeks.
Oh, I was trying to make it happen, and Sherry was like, "Maybe you don't try to force that in." That's what she said. So anyway, it's been an interesting time. I feel your pain, man. You'll get through it one bite at a time. And if I lived closer, I'd help out.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Have you guys seen these videos? They're usually shorts or reels or whatever they're called, where some landscaping person will offer to do the worst yards for free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've talked about these. Yeah.
So
SB mowing is my favorite.
I say, one of the ringleaders we've talked about.
I don't have, so I've started to see some of these now that I watch reels, so people are aware of them. This is a very specific one though, that they start showing the lawn first, and I kid you not, it looks like a corner lot, and the grass is completely almost like grown over the sidewalk at all points.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy goes up to the owner of the driveway and is doing his normal spiel, and the owner's just like, yeah, because I've been out of town for like the last week or so.
Right.
One of the funniest intros to one of those videos that I've seen. I'm like, my guy, this is about a couple decades worth of neglect on this lawn. This is not, out of town for a week.
At least he obviously feels shame, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that was like the guy excuse, right? That's like people calling and waking you up and they're like, were you sleeping? Like, no. Like, you don't know if you're not allowed to be sleeping or you don't want to make them feel bad or both. But you just will never tell the truth in that situation.
I thought you were going to suggest we employ this strategy to take one thing off of our plates, that we just let our lawns get so bad that a YouTuber shows up and says, could I help you out?
No, but that's gold, Jerry. Solid gold.
I'm just going to put a thing out there on social media that says, hey, if anybody's looking for sweet content, come look at my yard.
Yeah.
I won't charge you anything, I promise. It'll get lots of clicks.
Well, and so I was thinking about that. Can those guys also have to get a lot of people? They know they're doing it free for the person.
Right.
But then as neighbors and people around have to be coming up to them saying, do you have a card? What's your phone number? I'll call you. So on top of their, which I believe is the truth, they usually say something to the effect of, hey, I do it for free and record it, and I get paid on the video and you don't have to pay me. I'm sure that's all true.
Right.
But they've also got to be getting tons of referrals when people see these guys doing the worst lawns.
Well, and they're still running a business the rest of the month. They're just doing one of those a month or two of those a month for the YouTube content.
Yeah,
Because those before and afters, probably. The before and afters is what people enjoy watching.
Sure. And they can put the before and after on their website, on their social media. Their truck is sitting there all day with its phone number on it. You know, it's like, I'm just thinking, like, because I would be doing that. If there was somebody that was that good and was taking care of all of it, I'd be like, I'd walk over and be like, do you have a card? If I ever need service, I'm just going to call you because clearly you're awesome at what you do.
Yeah.
Like, I would walk over and get that guy's number and have it for later.
Exactly. Awesome. Yeah. Even if you don't make it on YouTube, like just doing that once in a while and getting the attention of the neighbors would be.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Would be cool. And I think like filming yourself probably adds something to the spectacle, which would make people want to come up to you and ask you about it. Otherwise, they would think, oh, well, they're, aunt or whoever like finally caved in and decided to pay for them to get something done. But no, it's cool. There was at least one of those guys on YouTube where I was watching a video of and it was clear to me that he had completely transitioned from traditional landscaping lawn care business to he just does free for YouTube now. And that is his business now.
And if that could be a thing everywhere, like what a best case scenario that is, right? Like imagine a city like Columbus, 1.2 million people in the greater Columbus area, 1.34 million, something like that. Imagine 10 of these guys in Columbus that make money on this, constantly cleaning up the worst looking homes, yards, plots in every neighborhood around Columbus, just always there. And that problem never disappears, right? Every year crap grows back and it needs cut back again. It's like, how many of these people can we have in our freaking city? Let's watch all their videos.
I got a few places
be like Spider-Man on Family Guy, like, everybody gets one.
Yeah. I was gonna say I've got a few places they could start. Speaking of awesome social media pages, I don't really scroll Instagram much, but Comedian recommended 2 pages that I have found that are absolutely hilarious. So I'm going to get into my recommendations and streaming for the week. Cringe Chub. It looks like Cringe Hub, which I think it was supposed to be. I think they crammed another C in there. Sorry about that.
Little fat fingered, yeah.
Little fat finger sitch. I mean, to the degree that I'm actually having a reaction physically watching these videos, they're so cringy. And every time they post one, they say, sorry, so sorry, try not to hate this. Sorry, you're probably going to want to get off Instagram. Sorry, they're so bad. Well, then there's a whole lane of people trying to be cringe to get on those. Like they're not being serious. Then there's a lane of people claiming that they know that they're being cringe, but they're actually not. They're just genuinely cringe. So you can never really discern which are the real cringe ones. And some of them, they're just making fun of people, which is sad. But Cringe Chub is very good. Also, and maybe even better, people getting mad. That's what it's called. All one word. People getting mad. So great. Because just, we talk a lot about etiquette and social situations and what you should do. This is when it all goes wrong. And Kendall, it reminds me of a lot of cart narcs, and passenger shaming combined. So it's just like the worst of human beings.
Yes.
When they're at their worst.
Yeah.
So in grocery stores, in airports, and it's just someone caught it on camera. What infuriates me though is that the shooter, the person filming it, always stops at the worst. It's like, keep going. There was like good stuff after that. What happened? So Cringe Chub and people getting mad, so fun. You will spend way too long on each of those pages. Very fun.
Can't wait. Watch. Mine will be fast. I'm watching as much college football as I can intake, which has been tons of fun. And I finally saw John Wick 1 and 2. And I can't remember the last dedicated action film, non-universe, not Star Wars, not Marvel, not a part of anything. Just these are the best action movies I have seen in such a long time that are not tied to anything else, that are just standalone action movies, incredibly well done, and even how thoughtful they are about like number of bullets, reloading, number of clips, trying to just, we all remember the what was the Hot Shots where Charlie Sheen is shooting and like the pile of bullets gets up to his chest, right? So like,
I forgot about those movies in Hot Shots Part Deux.
Yeah. So like Hot Shots, he literally shoots till bullet. He's in a pile of bullets.
You said Hot Shots. You said Hot Shots.
There's those two. That's why you got to watch the quality of basketball.
That's
if you had quality M&Ms in your house, you wouldn't have that problem.
I wouldn't have Hot Shots.
Bend over and sneeze and paint the side of a barn.
Man, I've been sick for 4 days and my brain is fuzzy. Anyways, Hot Shots, yeah, those are good. And but the even at one point, John Wick is like being manhandled, however, by somebody he's fighting, and he puts his gun, he's dropped the clip, and he's put the gun in between his calf and his thigh so that he can reach for another clip and know right where his gun is to reload it. Like, you don't just see him come back with another gun. You actually see what he does with the gun to be able to reload it in the meantime.
Right.
Gosh, so freaking cool. So I'm excited to watch the third one. I think there's a fourth one. So I'm excited to watch.
There's a new one, yeah.
The fourth one is the newest one. Yeah.
So
I am very excited to watch John Wick 3 and 4, but very, very cool movies. Seriously awesome.
I am a Elizabeth Banks fan, and I have been wanting to watch Cocaine Bear for a long time because I know she produced or directed or some combination of the two, that movie. So that was everything you think it's going to be. It's campy, it's silly, so it's over the top. It's loosely based on real events, which is even crazier. And yeah, I wouldn't put it in the category of horror. It's more, comedic suspense, but it's really fun. And then I finally watched Champions with Woody Harrelson, where he's coaching a team of kids with Down syndrome after getting fired from a team as a coach. Man, that was just a feel-good movie and very fun. And it reminded me how much Dillon and I's stepdad looks like Woody Harrelson. It's crazy. So that's a kind of fun thing. But Dillon, I'm so glad that you watched John Wick. Yes, 3 and 4 are, I think it gets even better. And I told you guys last week I started watching Painkiller on Netflix. Mm-hmm. I finished that today. Wow. Very good. Highly recommend. The fact that this went on in society, I can't explain it. Just go watch Painkiller if you're into that sort of thing. Very good. Enjoyed it. Kendall, you streaming anything?
Very similar to Dillon over here. So still watching Port Protection, and that's going swell. And I'm enjoying the season that I'm on right now because there's a lot of newer faces. And then football, which both college and professional. And last week I'd mentioned that sort of like story game of the week was Colorado and TCU. This week, I think the story game of the week was not in the college, but in the NFL. And it was game 1 on Thursday Night Football. And the Detroit Lions beat defending champions Kansas City Chiefs. And it was a beautiful thing to watch. A beautiful thing to watch.
I mean, that's a epic start to the season for Lions fans.
Epic start to the season. I mean, Kelsey was hurt and not playing, and that's the Chiefs fans are going to be banging that drum. But I mean, defending champs, right? And the Lions, right?
Yeah. Browns fans are feeling a similar kind of way today.
And indeed, yeah. I mean, that would be right up there as number 2 if it didn't happen every year. So
yeah,
it just seems like Cincinnati just has problems with Cleveland for whatever silly reason.
And we can't an epic game. I'll give you that. I don't want to take a moment to not mention how much the SEC has lost the first couple weeks of this season, including Alabama losing to Texas by double digits at home in the Texas's last season in the Big 12 before joining the SEC West.
Yeah.
Presumably. It just makes me feel so warm and gooey inside. The hot sharts are coming right back. Oh, man.
That feels like a perfect spot to end it. Dillon, take us home.
If you want to take care of your hot sharts, make sure to head to rdsman.com. There's tons of great bathroom, shower, and cleaning products, stuff for your beard, all kinds of great candles. Use the promo code The Middle. You'll save 25% off your first order. The holidays are right around the corner. You're going to run out of gift ideas. Go ahead and start buying stuff now. You can stock up, save a bunch of money. It helps us, helps you, helps a local Columbus area business like RDS Man. That's ARTIUSMAN.com. Use promo code The Middle. Save 25% on your first order. You're going to freaking love it. And they've got some amazing smelling products, beard oils and balms and butters and conditioners and shampoos and waxes, combs, face care, body care, candles, shaving, hair care. Like I said, clean up the hot sharts wherever you got them. So check out those products. You're going to love them. Thank you for listening. This has been From the Middle.
Shout out to Samson111, the creator of our awesome intro music. We don't shout him out enough, and he's newly engaged. Congrats, man. Thanks for all you do. Go check out his music on SoundCloud and everywhere else you find your dope beats. That's Samson111. Peace out. See y'all next week.